First course, white for pudding.
Hello and welcome to the Great British Shitcom, the show in which we watch some potentially forgotten sitcom classics to see if they're to the test of time. Oh, for fuck's sake, whatever. Can I do that again, please?
Yeah, what? Fine. I'm going to leave it in.
Well, you're going to leave it either way, aren't you? Hello and welcome to the Great British Shitcom, the show in which we watch some potentially forgotten sitcom classics to see if they've stood the test of time. I'm Mark, and as ever... Is that right? Did I just say that right?
Yeah, I think you're Mark.
Yeah, Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
You had a few years practice.
Why is always a minimum of 3 times you have to do this?
I've had 10 hours sleep this weekend.
I think we could
Why's that, Mark?
Because I had a party last night.
Oh, yeah.
I want to party all the time. I'm Mark, and as ever, I'm joined by my co-host Chris Wood and Chris Jones.
No.
Alright. Wood in the streets, winter in the sheets. Am I right? Hey.
Yeah, that's where we belong.
And Chris in the...
I'm on the streets.
What?
I'm on the streets, that's good.
No, but like homeless. I mean like a gangster on the streets.
Oh, gangster on the streets, yeah, obviously.
The is spelled D-A, so...
Huh?
Just...
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, well, yeah,
The
Russian.
streets of Ireland.
Oh, Russia.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, yeah, brilliant. That was a...
Yeah.
Good riff. Carry on.
That's scripted. 3 weeks I worked on that. Fucking hell. Butchered it.
Bam, bam, bam. Quick fire stuff. Quick fire stuff.
Gags. Must have 10 gags before the...
We got. I think one of our first ever shout outs to do this week. We had a guy recommend something for us to watch called Anthony Nesbitt. Have you guys heard of that before?
Have you looked this up before you read it out and stuff?
Yeah. And I meant to write it down because I've forgotten everything about it. But I can look at it again quickly.
Anthony Nesbitt.
Yeah. So the guy.
What is Anthony Nesbitt?
Oh no, hang on. That's the name of the guy that referenced.
Oh my god.
Sorry, no. Anthony Nesbitt is the name of the guy that linked us to something called Roland Jones.
So he sent you a link saying we should watch him.
Yeah, and he just was like a
Is it
live
webcam?
feed.
He's on Chatterbait. This is the weirdest sitcom I've ever seen.
Oh, if he's listening now, then loving your show, mate. Romany Jones.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It's from the years 1972 to 1975. There's no plot. That's great, but it's got in it.
What's the rating?
The rating is 7 out of 10. Of course, it is.
Yeah.
Who's it? Star? Arthur Millard.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's got James Beck in it, the guy from Dad's Army. You know, the one that was always trying to flog stuff, like the guy with the pencil moustache.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But Burt Jones. Because we all know that's his name. Yeah. Anyway, that's.
So what's this? Just something you said to watch?
Yeah, he said.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he said it does. He says proper sleazy, I think is what he says it is. So we should give that a watch at some point, perhaps.
Alright, thanks, Anthony Nesbitt. Nice one.
Yep. So that's thanks.
You gonna send him a badge or something?
Yep. There'll be a badge in the post to him soon.
Hashtag badge, get that trend in, everyone.
Hashtag badge, please do. And if anyone else got any recommendations, please send them our way. We'll give you a shout out and a lovely badge for
leave a iTunes review and we'll give you a badge or something, innit?
Yeah, iTunes reviews for whatever else we've got going, really. So badges, mugs, if I've got any of them left.
Well, we haven't.
Don't be dishing out mugs for iTunes reviews.
Well, not every single one. Like people can potentially win some.
Limited
stock. I don't have much money.
Yeah, I know.
I've sunk it all into this. It's a terrible idea. Anyway.
Come on then. Oh, it's just shit in it. It's such low energy. Look, you look like shit.
I do.
My eyes are fucking glued together because of allergies.
I feel so bad I've put a hoodie on just to cheer myself up.
What?
You ever do that when you're a bit like,
get your comfies on.
Yeah, get your comfies on, put a hoodie on.
I don't know anything about that. Sitting in my little
He's always
my little cardigan.
He's always wearing freshly starched and iron jeans. So stiff.
Freshly pressed. The Corby trouser press every morning straight away.
It's a razor sharp crease down the front.
The Corby goes on, then the coffee.
Anyway.
This is shit. We've got to get the high energy. Come on. Up. Come on, guys. We can do this.
Today we're watching.
That's the same. Exactly the same level of voice.
Hey guys, today we're watching Miss Jones and Son.
Hey.
The reason we've got this is because Jones, you won last week.
Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Very familiar, isn't it?
You won last week in the game. and you chose that. Well, why did you choose Miss Jones and Son?
Because it was Jones, and that's my surname.
Oh yeah, I didn't realise that. So the series premise,
Pants.
you'd be happy to know.
Great back and forth. Why did you choose that? It's my surname. Yes, correct.
Yes, that
Brilliant.
is actually.
It's not fucking Laurel and Hardy, isn't it?
Series premise, there is no premise. It's written by a guy named Richard Waring, who wrote Dixon of Dock Green.
Fine.
Is there no premise? I read a premise on this, so I looked it up.
What is done there?
What story?
Because I did a cursory Google search.
When I did my research.
But so the thing is, I do all my research through IMDb, which is notoriously not very good.
Oh.
Why do you are you sponsored by IMDb? Why don't you just look on Google?
We should look on
What's the matter
Wikipedia, a
with
much
you?
more reliable
IMDb is
source.
quicker to spell.
Wikipedia.
It's quicker to spell.
That's true.
I've got an app for it.
An app.
Yeah, IMDb app. So I'll read out the rest of it while you're helping. Thank you very much. He also did World of Worcester and Tears Before Bedtime. This series ran for 2 series, 12 episodes in total, between 1977 and 1978. Got a score of 6.6 out of 10.
How many
so-
episodes are of this show? There's a lot of it, or what?
As I just said, 12.
I wasn't listening to
No, I know, that's fine. Just that.
I was looking at your face and your mouth moving, but I wasn't registering any of the words you were
in your
saying.
head. God, he's handsome. He's really.
Episodes. There was 2 series, and it looks like there was.
You as well. 12 episodes. Yeah.
12 episodes. Sorry. Did I black out there? It's happened a lot lately. Sorry, what are you talking about?
I wasn't talking about anything.
Oh.
Was I?
Have we all blacked out?
I
What's
don't know
going
what's
on?
going on. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah.
do
Glazed
you want the
over.
premise?
He's looking through his phone.
No, I'm
Look at
done.
his face.
That's oh no, is everything like that? No,
Oh
it's
my
not.
God.
So this stars Paula Wilcox as Elizabeth Jones. She's in Man About the House, Upstart Crow, The Smoking Room, which I think.
Are these things you're just saying stuff? Is there things
no.
she's been in?
Yeah, these are things she's been
Right,
in.
okay.
The Smoking Room, I remember that actually being quite good. Really,
It rings a bell, yeah.
yeah, it was in that. I can't think. I remember that actually being quite good. Holby City as well, and a guy named Christopher Beanie. Great surname, Christopher Beanie. He was in Upstairs Downstairs. This is great. Christopher Beanie was in The Sweeney, and he was also in Last of the Summer Wine.
Apparently he had a child and as a Beanie Baby. Yeah, we've got a lot of money nowadays, apparently.
No, lost its value in the 90s. Got rid. Upstairs Downstairs, is that a sitcom? No, it's not a sitcom.
No,
Is it? It's not a comedy, is
like-
it? No. Sorry, no, because I've watched it quite a lot of it, and it's hope it's
It's
good
like
to
Downton
watch. But it's
Abbey,
not really a
isn't
sitcom, is it?
I think it's like Downton Abbey. Yeah.
Unless you find the repression of serving classes
Hilarious,
hilarious.
The women can't even vote.
Get back downstairs. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Did you find a premise for it at all?
Yeah, I did find a premise for it. Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to share it? Or?
A series depicted the life of
It's the sound of his
Elizabeth
phone-
Jones.
His phone locking. Oh.
Young woman,
Tetris.
young woman coming to terms with the responsibility of looking after her baby Roland.
Probably Roland.
Because that one's a name.
Roland. I like to pronounce the hard O.
He's got a Dutch cousin, Roland from Holland.
So she's raising her kid alone. Emotional support from a next door neighbour. And then difficulties with like reproaches of her parents, difficult social life, and reduced income. So
Laugh riot then.
all comedy tropes there. Yeah, that's it really. So single mother looking after a kid who she's given a very unfortunate name to, Roland.
Today,
Alright.
But it's not spelt Roland, it's spelt Roll. So like Roland.
I'll be so annoyed when she says Roland.
Yeah.
Middle name's Rock, to be fair. So
I've been watching a lot of Vikings lately.
anyway, series 1, episode 1, from Here to Maternity.
Roll Rock End. Roland. Roll.
Yeah, the thing is, 1, it wasn't funny, and 2, it's all I had. So I thought I need to say something.
No, you don't.
Alright then. Series 1, episode 1, from Here to Maternity is what we're going to be watching. This episode got 5.8 out of 10.
Ooh, it's a low start.
It is a low start, but you know, it's a 6.6 average. So this is below.
So it's below the average of the two
below
series.
the average of what we're watching anyway.
That's good.
So great
This
choice,
is
James.
going to be shit, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Wow. Put a lot of effort into it.
We've got any like sort of prediction? What sort of comedy do you reckon this is going to be like?
Yeah.
Do you reckon it'll be like Brushstrokes or something? When is it in the 70s?
So what series are we watching?
77, 78. So this would have been 1977. Series 1, episode 1.
Oh, From Here to Maternity.
It's going to be shit, isn't it? Is there going to be any racism in it? do you
18th
reckon?
of April. It says From Here to Maternity.
No, I don't think there'll be racism in it.
Well, she's probably going to have a baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume. She'll probably be pregnant in it, and then she'll... You want ice cream?
Always. What a slow ice cream chain.
It is really mournful.
That means he's run out.
I sell
Means he's run
ice
out.
cream.
That's the slow trip home when he's
All sad.
mournful.
So,
So
do you reckon there'll be sexism in it?
No,
No, but I think there's
No.
I think there's going to be a lot of like parents saying to her, "Oh, you can't have this baby by yourself. Where's the
Yeah.
father?" I don't know if we'll see the father, or it'll be like an immaculate conception.
No, I reckon.
No, I don't think there'll be an immaculate conception in this.
Oh,
I don't think so.
So it's. I reckon there'll be a sense of empowerment, if anything. Like From Here to Maternity, it's her bringing the baby home for the first time, I would guess, and like it's going to be lots of, oh, you can't do this. You how will you survive? Neighbour starts.
I reckon it's
Me
going to be
and the neighbour in this one.
bloody crying and all as well, aren't they?
Yeah, women cry. Oh,
No,
fuck's
not
sake.
women crying. A flipping baby, isn't it?
Oh, just babies crying.
Baby
yeah.
crying and being like, "Oh, I just can't do it." Stressed
Yeah.
out.
I reckon so.
This is a comedy.
I hope so.
Yeah, but it'll be
otherwise-
funny. Like she'll try and like do something like, and then the baby will just
Yeah,
be
baby
like,
will shit
kicking
on her.
off. But it might be sick and that.
Sick, yeah. Wee wee.
Yeah.
Wee wee. It's a wee wee. What do you reckon the music will be like?
I reckon it's like like that, like an ice cream man just driving around. It's a little bit calypso, that ice cream.
It is,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's not a sound. It's there's a steel drum in the back. While he's driving, it's not a phone. You can't get caught.
What's the ice cream?
Steel drum.
I couldn't fit it in with the drum as well. It's a Jamaican ice cream.
It's just got 2 big flakes to play these things on. Chocolate shavings everywhere.
It's chocolate shavings.
Yeah, that's his Rasta name as well.
That's you may say that, Mark.
I reckon it'd be like an instrumental sort of music. I don't think there'd be any
Will it
words.
Harpy brass
I reckon it'll be like sort of
Yeah, it's too
2.4
upbeat.
children-esque.
or piano?
Yeah, like piano, like a little bit of and then little piano playing on like the fade out as like something's happened, or I reckon there'll be some dramatic moments in this as well, like sad moments.
Yeah, I reckon it's more heavy on the
Why are you
sadness.
both so certain it's gonna be like really? It's gonna be really melodramatic and
Mike, 'cause she's a single woman raising a baby.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't,
that'll be
I don't think it's gonna
fine.
be like Frank Spencer one, is it? It's gonna be like she's wearing roller skates and juggling the baby at the same time.
I'll be so
it's nothing
pleased
like
if it
that.
is.
She gives birth. I'll put that out in the morning. What?
Okay, all right, let's watch the show then.
Go straight into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right then, here we go. From Here to Maternity, Miss Jones and Son. So we just watched Miss Jones and Son, From Here to Maternity. It's the debut episode of this sitcom. Any of you guys want to recap the premise of this? No.
It's pretty much what we said, wasn't it? It's a woman having a baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't as dramatic as you both thought it would be.
Well, I thought, because usually on TV, when someone's pregnant, a lot of the time they make a show of them having the birth, don't they? Like they always have like a real graphic, like the woman sitting like, and just like, because it's rough, isn't it? Really.
So how'd they go?
Two deep breaths.
So Tom, I've never. It's hot. It's hot. Oh no, sorry, that was a gratuitous eating of a hot pie.
Blow it before you eat it.
No, but you know what I mean. Like they very rarely.
This was so shit.
They very rarely.
This is going to
cut
be the shortest one we've ever done.
from
It's fucking
straight to
rubbish.
like, oh, she's gone in. Like there wasn't really like a contraction or anything, was it? She like stood up, goes, oh, like she's got a bit of a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Phones up the doctor, has like a bit of a calm conversation considering the fact she's gone into labour. Then she's standing outside for the taxi. Some weird little conversation there, and then next thing you see, it's she's had the baby, so there was no like.
The birth
usually
scene was quite a expressionistic touch. It was like the nurse. It was like shot from the nurse looking into the camera, and it was shot like blurred, and it sort of pulled into focus. And then she went, "It's a boy, Mrs. Jones," and then that was it. And it cut to the next day when everyone was kind of visit her. It was quite a so it's like proper straight in there. There was no preamble of her being pregnant. I think it was like literally within like the first 2 minutes of the show, she'd
well, it's Miss Jones' son.
Knocked it out. Yeah, the baby. It's the son. Yeah.
So you got complaints.
But it's weird. It got off to a weird start, didn't it? Because like the audience was like proper primed to laugh. Just any old shit that was said. Like so, she was sitting there. And it was a great segue from the title sequence to the actual show. It was magnificent. It was like a black and white comic strip with like Chris called it right with the theme music. It was piano based with a little whistling tune, which is annoying. Don't know whistling that much, but
wow,
it's annoying, isn't it? God, whistling is annoying.
Whistling?
Yeah.
No, I whistle all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, whoever's around you is annoyed.
Yeah, no, they are, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, Snow White fuming. Yeah. So it's like different shots of like a comic strip with a guy who looks like He-Man. Because we're looking at it at the moment on the TV, like it's a backdrop, and like it's a lady, and it's like comic strip.
What's that? Roy the Rovers.
Roy the
Rovers. So Roy the Rovers got.
Or the cover art for that Sonic Youth album.
I don't know.
Roy the Rovers is a more.
Yeah, that's my
solid reference.
Roy the Rovers is full colour, I think. So.
All right.
So
would have been black and white before they coloured it though, because she's the illustrator, not the colourist.
Okay,
so,
fair enough. Yeah. So it's the comic strip, and then it settles on one, and then Mark went, "She's going to be drawing this, isn't she?" And then it pulls out of it, and she's on her drawing board, and we're like, "Yes, brilliant." And that's when and so she sitting there drawing, and she sort of pulls her face like she's to discomfort, and she stands up and reveals her big belly. Audience cracking up,
loving it.
They knew what the premise of the show was. What's so funny? Like, she's visibly pregnant. That's
But it wasn't that bit. It was when she picked up the phone and goes, "What did she say? Miss Jones."
It's Miss Jones.
It's Miss Jones, and everyone laughed.
She's not even married. Oh, is that what they were laughing at? Because she was Miss Jones and she's not married. That's not funny.
Well, I guess maybe at the time, like
hilarious.
Funny.
We'll get onto it in a bit, but like there's the scene later on with the parents talking to her, and like I think the mum's just a little bit ashamed that she's not married or anything, and she doesn't want to declare that she's had a kid to anyone because she's not married. So maybe that is why it's funny, because we're all a bit like, oh, that's a bit like.
Well, I guess like against the. Was it a social norm then? I don't know. In the 70s, like would it have been like? I suppose you would have got married and had a kid.
Yeah, I wonder when it started to change then, because I would have thought this was the period where it started. It was already kind of becoming more acceptable.
I guess if it's on like primetime TV, then yeah.
Well, I suppose if it wasn't totally acceptable, they wouldn't have done a series about it, would they?
Yeah.
Like, but I suppose it's.
You know how it's completely unacceptable to have a baby when you're not married? No. Well, I'm making a show about it.
It's underground.
Anyway, so then and then she finds the doctor, and then everyone's laughing at that. It's just the funniest, what I like to call the funniest phone call of all time. And then she gets a cab, a black
what was
cab.
that conversation with the doctor? The doctor, she phoned up and said, "Oh, hello, I'm having a baby," and he goes, "Yeah, it does sound like you're having a baby." So then she's like, "Oh, shall I ring a taxi then?"
Yeah, all the classic symptoms of a baby. Yeah, contractions. And she explains to him what stuff she ate.
Yeah.
She had a takeaway curry.
Oh yeah, she had a load of.
And she had a suet pudding. That is the quintessential 70s. And then she had a sardine sandwich or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
That's just not. I think that's another reference to being pregnant. Like, you eat weird shit.
Stuff, and then he says, "Yeah, phone a taxi." Then, and she just. Yeah, and then the doctor puts the phone down and thinks, fucking waste of time.
Bye. And then she cuts to her outside in her driveway, like wrapped in what looked like a curtain, waiting for the cab to turn up.
Potato sack, look like that, didn't it? Because by
weird, like frayed Hessian, like she'd escaped from a hostage situation in a barn. And then the cab pulls out, and the cab driver was like really 70s. He had like longish hair. It was like I'm pretty sure he started the sentence with ear a few times. Yeah. And then he drives off.
Yeah, because he was like, where's the father then? And she goes, "Oh, he's away." And he goes, "Oh, so it's right for some, isn't it?"
Yeah, I think it's just further cementing the idea that she's a single woman, and that's the funny.
Yeah, because there's the thing in the hospital, they keep saying, don't they keep saying Mrs. Jones? She goes, Miss
like
Jones.
Yeah, like I see.
Yeah, so it goes cab pulls away, and it goes straight from that to the birth scene that we mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And then cuts straight from that to people arriving in the maternity ward to see all the babies.
Mm-hmm.
So lads go in there.
But it follows in a man I thought was going to be a main character in this. Like, it's a man that eats some grapes outside, like by that really fake maternity sign. And then he walks in and he turns out to be like the husband of one of the other women that's just given birth. It's just, I didn't really understand the point of that.
I think they sort of focused on him because he was a bit of a comedic flourish where he ate the grapes that he gave to his wife.
Yeah, because it was their 5th kid or something, so they just weren't bothered about it.
Yeah,
I think it had worn off by then.
It just feel like an odd addition to that. He didn't seem silly necessary. They could have just like got cut straight inside the hospital. And
There's a lot of odd choices made.
Well, it's established. Well,
this series being made.
Sorry to get down to basics, but it was just an establishing shot of the maternity ward.
And the fact that loads of people were going to visit
I mean,
these women who'd all given birth at exactly the same time. I suppose statistically you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I suppose it would be.
Yeah. But the nurses all brought the babies in at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like a dinner service. They all came rolling in.
Yeah,
but wouldn't they have done stuff like that?
But not
I'm
exactly
sure
at the
they'd
same
have had like
time.
set times, wouldn't they? Because this is like an old like 70s hospital, isn't it? So you wouldn't have had like, it would have been run a bit more sort of like in a weird sort of
Regimented,
structure,
yeah.
wouldn't it? So it'd have been regimented like, okay, so at 9 o'clock they take them away or whatever, and
I
wheel
guess
them
it was
in.
like
I
visiting
don't
hours.
know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
This is your knowledge of 1970s maternity ward.
It's really lacking. It's really lacking. Yeah.
Shit.
That happened, and then all the people the mamas were talking to each other. She was wearing like a nightie with enormous sleeves.
Doing some knitting.
Yeah,
It made her arms look really weird.
I think, would you call that, didn't you? And I hadn't noticed it myself first of all, but that's all I could watch after that. She looked like she had weird dwarf
It did
arms.
look weird.
Mm.
Not as anything wrong with
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what it looked like she had.
that. It's when you leant over to be sick, Mark.
I brought my bucket this time.
What was the dialogue between her and that woman then? So I don't
It was
know.
the Miss Jones, Mrs. Jones thing again.
Oh, because when
about
she's
her 5th kid.
Yeah, she looked at the kids and she was like, the kid was crying. She goes, you're pushing it, like, you're a mistake.
Yeah, we're like, whoa, okay.
And then she was like,
Mother
oh my
of the
God.
year.
And then she was like, once you had your 5th one, it's just pops out, doesn't it?
Good. That's it, Chris.
Yeah, he just walked out, that kid, yeah.
Perfect. Right, that's the misogyny done for this episode. Let's
What?
Misogyny.
Misogyny?
say that. Like, it's literally what you were just doing.
Sounds as if we both meant that.
Yeah, well,
Childbirth is difficult.
the things that the listeners can't see is the hatred in your eyes for saying
That's
that.
true, yeah.
That all the people that came to visit, all right. So then the man we just spoke about with the grapes bowled in is like a working class lad. Walks in, she pulls the grapes out. There's only about 4 on it, and she's like, ah.
Yeah.
Was he was wearing a cravat?
It was wearing
It's more of a-
second cravat of this
It
series.
looked more like to me a working class like chief.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
The old cravat chief mistake.
Yeah. I really should learn what the difference is between the series.
That was a big kind of talking point in the 70s. That schism between the cravat. It was like mods and rockers, but just people with neckwear. Yeah, that was good. He had a little drink out of his flask.
Yep.
Don't remember what he really said. I wasn't really paying attention.
It was a real quick sip, wasn't it? Almost it was like, it was like cheers to you.
Oh, it's like, yeah, here's to
sort of
you,
thing.
kid, or
It
whatever.
might have driven there, do you want to? Well, 70s. That was the peak of driving, wasn't it? 70s.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine. Can back that up.
I just feel like it was, wasn't it?
Well, it's one
What
of
do you reckon the
probably...
peak of driving was? 60s?
Pardon?
Like the heyday, like the golden era of drink driving.
Dunno.
60s, 70s?
You can Google it.
Just like Google the peak,
What?
peak
Google-
of drunk driving.
Heyday of the golden era of
Heyday.
drink driving.
Oh, look back, think, memories. Wish it was like now.
Because I feel like they really started to do like PSAs about drink driving in the 80s, wasn't it? Like there was that one with Mungo Jerry in it. Remember that?
What's the Mungo Jerry one? I
I
remember
guess in
Mungo
the
Jerry.
summertime, and then they're in a pub beer garden, and they're going having a good time, and he goes, have a drink, have a drive, and it's him like ploughing off the road into a tree. Sort of response that's supposed to be acting people.
Yeah.
Just hearty laughter. He
Definitely
probably
what that
died.
song's about.
What?
Definitely what that song's about, yeah.
Yeah, but it's drink and driving, it.
Oh, the peak of drink driving is Christmas.
Well, yeah, true.
Christmas 78.
Oh, I don't know. What decade?
Coincidentally, when this series stops being filmed.
Yeah, coping mechanism.
I think in the same scene, this was the one I was talking about before, when the parents walked in, and it got really awkward about when the mum was saying, "Oh, I can't even tell anyone about it." She wanted to put an advert in the Telegraph to announce your birth and be really proud of having a grandson. Yeah, it was rubbish.
Neither of us listened to Mark.
No, rightfully so. This was all
fucking rambling in the corner.
That's what happened. That's what happened next.
Just a monotone voice.
Whatever.
It's so angry. It was dog shit, wasn't it? It was like there was nothing. I hated the writing. It was very. There were lots of like monologues for Miss Jones to say, and it was annoying. I hated the language used.
And what was the face thing you pointed out as well?
Oh yeah, so every time she did like a quip, she would finish the quip and then widen her eyes and sort of
gulp almost.
So sort of push her lower jaw back behind her teeth, so in like a sort of buck tooth motion. And once we noticed it, we couldn't stop noticing it. She did it every time she finished like a little. Don't know what another word for quip is. There's no word for quip.
Zinger.
Zinger,
yeah. So they only started to keep records related to drink driving in 1979, and there were 1,640 deaths.
That's like that.
In the UK. In 1989, there were 810 deaths.
Falling.
1999, 460.
Brilliant.
And in 2011, 230.
That's it. Perfect.
But that was abnormally low.
1,000. How was it? 1,600.
1,640 in 1979,
Christ.
and that's apparently the year they started to keep records. So blimey, it must be mad, isn't it?
Just to remind you both, this is a comedy podcast, and death's behind the wheel. That's,
it's the norm.
Who's done Miss Jones and Son?
No, all right, yeah.
So again, I don't think people were getting like smashed out their heads, but I think people were like, it probably was more acceptable to like go and have like a few pints or so and then drive home, or like have a little bit. Like, obviously you weren't like inebriated, but over the limit probably.
Yeah. By today's standards. So I don't know. So that's that, Mark. Eh?
Yeah, that's that.
I'm calling it now. This is a classic episode. There's been lots of funny stuff happening. Been statistics.
Well, there's nothing really funny happening.
It's fucking rubbish, wasn't it? It was nothing.
Well, I think they were trying to be. It's the pilot, though, isn't it? I mean, someone must have liked it because they commissioned 2 series off the back of it. So I don't know. Was it funnier back in the 70s when it would like today? I suppose you watch it and you think, okay, so if it's revolving around like a single mother raising a kid, like today you'd be like, okay, well, it's not really that weird.
Yeah.
But whereas back then, would it have been like something where it's not a situation a lot of people would have known or been aware at, so it might have had a bit of a niche to fit into.
I don't even understand what it was trying to be. Like, what kind of comedy? Where was the? No one's really said anything funny.
Well,
nothing funny really happened.
It was all
it's just like establishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a comedy.
And it's like the weird situation. Like, I don't know why she didn't tell the father
when we met the dad later.
Okay, yeah. So
her kid.
After that, the my parents come, and that's what Mark was saying, wasn't it? They're ashamed and awkward and stuff.
Well, because because in the hospital they said they wanted to announce it, but they couldn't announce it because they
weren't married yet.
Yeah,
she got married, yeah.
So she's trying to be like an independent woman, and she said, "Oh no, don't worry, mum and dad. I've got some friends who are going to come and help me." And then a nurse walks in and says, "Oh no, unfortunately, all of your friends have phoned to say that they've been up celebrating, and half of them can't make it because they're all really drunk still, and the other half can't make it because they're taking care of the people that are still like really hungover." And she's like, "Oh," and she sort of stares into the middle distance, and the parents offer her again, "Well, you can come stay with us for a couple of weeks, or if you want. We've got a bassinet made up and everything."
I think bassinet was the word said most in this episode. Bassinet was said so many times.
Yeah, it was said several times in this. And then what happened next? Yeah, she went back. She was like, "All right, I'll stay for a couple of days then." I think the mum, from what it transpired later, the mum kept trying to set her up with various men.
Yeah.
And she tried to introduce her to a guy named Roland, first of all, which is a guy that... Roland, yeah, Roland is what called him. Roland, who used to fancy her when they were younger.
Fancy.
But she had the thing, and she didn't fancy him back
Something like
because.
I don't know, this is a bit like
When you're kids, you say, "Oh, you fancy that person."
fancy.
Yeah.
Fancies him.
No. What would you
No?
say?
You should not use that now. Well, not because you're married,
Yeah. No, not for adults. No.
but. Oh,
What would you say
What
then?
would you say then?
I don't know.
Going.
I don't know. I'd say fancies him. He wants to get hold of you.
Get hold of. Fucking hell.
I don't know. It just seemed funny. Go on. What?
Yeah, she was saying, I never used to like him.
That's
No,
it.
I never used to like him back because he was when we were smoking cigarettes behind the bike sheds. He would smoke chocolate cigarettes. Is that
Yeah.
or something
Well, I
like
don't
that?
think he smoked to me. Probably just hated him.
Yeah.
Well, just you saying
Confirm that.
that dialogue again, it's making me angry again listening to it. I hate it.
Well,
Yeah, this is
Why?
pretty much verbatim what
It's
happened.
just fucking. I hate it listening to it again.
All right.
Stupid fucking premise. Stupid fucking dialogue.
No, but they
This is
were-
what piss weak comedy.
They
It's
were-
fucking rubbish.
Establishing the fact that when they're kids, he was a bit of a drip.
Yeah.
And he was a drip. He had a big
Well, yeah, he
light
was a
bulb
drip,
head, and his
yeah.
hair was thinning, and he had like a tie.
All right.
That's a bit sensitive for all of us.
Whoa.
No, I mean, he had a big bulbous head, and he wasn't drip. He had
All right,
glasses.
bulbous head, Jesus.
Fucking four eyes. I think the parents invited him around in the hopes that they would hook up.
Yeah.
Hook up. All of this. Give me stick for fucking slag over here.
I thought he was going to take it to make our point. but it turns.
You look pretty chilly. Put a sweater on.
I don't
It felt
know.
like all that dialogue, it felt like it was built up for the conversation between Roland slash Roland. And when you did ask me to kiss you, you said no because you had chocolate all around your mouth. I'm like, was that what this dialogue was built up for this rubbish show?
It was just crap, wasn't it? The dialogue, like it was everything she said.
Yeah.
Like the fact
Fuck off.
she had to do stupid eyes and a stupid face after she said everything. It wasn't funny. It's like, well, how do we know you've made a joke? Oh, why don't you make a face after you've
She
done it
really
each
tried
time?
to sell it as well.
And then maybe
Yeah.
you get a laugh off the funny face. Don't know.
The audience really kind of lost its like the wind went out of
Well,
the sails
to be
halfway
fair,
through. Like it just went really quiet.
When
after
you
a while.
peak with two great jokes, like standing up and hello, it's Miss Jones. Where'd you go? Like there was nowhere else, was there?
Yeah, answering the phone with your name. you can't top that really.
Oh.
The audience are the equivalent of eating too much bread at the table before the main had arrived. And then, like, I'm full up. I'm full up. I'm standing up and telling your name on the phone. Sorry.
Oh, that's a lovely little analogy. I like
Cheers,
that.
thanks. I should get a job writing for this fucking show then, because I
That's
understand
good.
how language works.
The also like the inappropriately long applause at the end of part one. It just went on for like how long that go
That
on
was a joke. That was like a bit out of
We had
like I don't know.
It was a
Who would do
good
that?
30 seconds.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it was long, wasn't
break.
it? It was like, is this applause ever going to end? Then it stopped, and it was like, I don't know. It's just a YouTube cut. Added that in later, but
Yeah, it's like a sick mind game. Just slightly too long. That's the best part.
yeah.
What happened then? Roland came, and it turns out that he's married, and
Yeah,
and so
and
she sort of warmed to him then.
But I think
Yeah,
what-
she
what I
got
quite
really
like about-
excited.
What I quite like about that was Roland was
Roland.
he was getting married to someone that was currently going through divorce and had her own kid.
Yeah.
So I thought it was actually quite nice in the writing, in the sense that it's all going back to like modern day things are changing. So that kind of made sense in this.
Yeah, it's all different, isn't it? And then the parents weren't happy with that because they were like, oh, fucking hell.
Joe's just laughing at it's all different, isn't it?
What analysis? It's all
Yes,
different, isn't
things
it?
are different.
It is what it is.
Yes, some may say that.
Oh, it's fucking shit. And then she's like kissing him and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she, I think the idea was that she was kind of, ribbing him a bit because their parents were trying to, push them together.
Yeah.
But then once she realised that there was no obligation for her to try, but so she kind of let her guard down, I think, and she was like sort of teasing him a little bit, gave him a little kiss. and then took him off to see the baby, and then she did a little thing about, it's just like when we were behind the bike sheds, wasn't it? Remember? And I said, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Them at the genitals, and
Does that ever happen? I don't know.
I've never tried it.
No, it's weird, isn't it? It's always like a thing, isn't it? They always say it on like TV shows, don't they?
Bewitched did it, didn't they?
Yeah, God, let me in.
Hey.
Let the fun begin.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We get it.
We don't want to get any more legal.
Oh, that's true. Fucking YouTube, fuck off.
Get a lawsuit from Bewitched.
You used our tune without permission. It's not for Northern Ireland, are they?
No. Would is it possible to get the YouTube comments on the TV? I don't know if we can do.
Right, well, so David Edwards 3 years ago says that it got 23 likes.
Well, the show or David's comment? The show got 23 likes.
David's comment. Oh, let me see what the. Right, so this got 308 likes and 31 downvotes, whatever. So David Edwards said this was a daring new type of program on TV in its time. It's got an apostrophe in it, erroneously. When it was made, TV shows didn't talk about single mothers. What a difference from today's TV, where anything, capital letters, goes. I prefer the older programs with some form of morality. What's bloody hell? So David Edwards saying that this is good.
Yeah.
But only this is good. Like other things aren't. Other forms of.
Was just looking up highlights of animals, very funny animals. Brilliant.
So David Edwards is basically saying this is fine, but I only think this is fine because I think this is fine, but other things aren't fine.
Yeah.
Nicola Taylor says my mum wouldn't allow me to watch this due to the quote-unquote immorality of her not being married. Mad when you think about what our children are exposed to now. Yeah. Actually upsetting watching how horrible they are to her. Bloody stupid. They weren't horrible to her. They were kind for the time. It isn't stupid either. Children of unwed mothers are far more likely to have bad outcomes, and it is immoral.
I suppose at the time it would have been a bit of a controversial thing, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. But like...
YouTube comments are a fucking cesspit. Jeffrey isn't married and he doesn't like women much, but he's mad about babies and can't wait to change a nappy.
Yeah,
he sounds like a paedophile to me.
Yeah, I did wonder that myself, to be honest.
I'm agreeing with Mr. Davey here. Truly appalling writing. Seamus, Paula Wilcox and Norman Bird are very talented actors. And Brian George says it was writing for its time.
Oh right, that woman comes back into it.
Brian Paddick describes it correctly as dreary. Which is true.
That's the other woman from the baby.
Not even listening.
Place. Hospital.
It makes sense now then.
Yeah.
Oh look, this is
Just
this YouTube comment is someone I know.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's a geezer I play football with. That's weird. And he's got 2 likes. He says poor writing, awkward direction, etc., bloody horrible. Why is he?
When was this?
2 years ago.
Oh, I have to
That's weird.
That. Is it someone I know as well, or?
No, you don't really know.
That's a shame.
Be a bit weird.
That's really weird. This is throwing me. I'm not going to read anymore now. Freak me out.
A bit pervy, yeah.
So joke of the week. Were there any jokes in this?
I mean, we've not even finished what
Hello,
happened.
it's Michelle.
Oh fuck, we're up to now.
Shall I just hammer through what?
Yeah, go on. Hammer through what's happened, and then we'll interrupt you.
She goes. She tries to introduce him to Roland. Nothing happens there.
Just say Roland.
Then she goes back home and she talks about how Mum tried to introduce her to someone that's in the gay lib, and he's standing there most of the time with his hand on hip. So I really didn't like that. That was.
I don't know if he got introduced. I think he was just round. Brought him round.
Maybe.
Why? Why do you like that?
Why don't I mean, it's just uncomfortable, isn't it? Like, how is that acceptable to? It's not funny. They're trying to make a cheap gay joke. It's not anything clever at all.
Yeah.
It's all like wrong. Shouldn't be doing things like that. The baby's name that she decides to name the baby Roland after Roland, and the baby's middle name Desmond after the dad Desmond, and then Jeffrey the neighbour, he comes around later on and he's like, oh, you've not named him a good name then, and then she's like, oh, I'll call him Jeffrey from that. The baby's got fucking 3 middle names now.
I thought that's his first name. That's his first name, isn't it?
2 middle names, alright. Yeah, 2 middle names and
he gets more names as well.
Yeah, sorry, it's progresses. Yeah, it's got 30 names by the end of it.
30?
Yeah, last episode. Not at all.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Every man she meets, she adds the names to the baby.
He does, because they add somehow Alan gets finding out about the baby.
Who the fuck's Alan?
Dad.
Oh,
Alan's a dad.
Oh, right.
All right.
Okay. So
What are you in the hospital?
So then it goes from the mum's and dad's house to her flat where she's just come back with her baby and her dad. She's been staying at her parents' house for 2 weeks. He goes, she's on her own with a baby for the first time.
Yep.
Okay, Jeffrey comes round. Jeffrey comes round from next door. He's the next door neighbour. He's got a what are those vests called?
The vest.
Like a sweater vest.
No. It's got a name, isn't it? The one with no sleeves on it. What's it called?
It's a sleeveless vest.
No. It's called something
It's a
special.
V-neck, isn't it?
No, it's called a special name.
A special name? I don't
A
know.
jumper with no arms. It's called a. Fuck.
V-neck.
No, that's a kind of collar cut. It's a round neck and V-neck. It's different. Fuck.
I can't think what it's
Oh,
called.
come on, Chris, quick.
Right, V-neck.
No.
V-neck with no sleeves. It's called
Type in sleeveless jumper.
This is
it's called plunge top.
This must be so annoying to listen to. This
Yeah.
podcast. This is fucking shit.
Well, to be
Right,
fair, it's annoying for us
sleeveless.
to watch, so it's only
That's true.
it's only
Yeah.
appropriate.
Gutted.
Well, anyway, my last.
No,
note
we're
is-
gonna-
Is it a pullover?
No.
Oh no.
That's just a jumper.
All right, fucking hell, what am I? Look, on
It's called
the site Woolovers, it says just cashmere merino sleeveless
Woolovers.
jump owner.
It's called something. special.
Argyle? No.
No, that's
That's
a
type of
print.
No, look, it just says sleeveless.
No.
Oh, sorry, jumper expert. You're a weaver. Sweater vest.
No.
While you guys are trying to work that out, Jeffrey comes in, then Alan
Right.
arrives, and they basically trick Alan to make him not know that the baby is his. Alan reveals that he's also married himself.
Oh,
They lie.
tank.
Tank top.
Tank
Tank
top. There we
top.
go. They lie to say they're
hell.
married with each other, and Alan's like, "Oh, I'm married as well." Then baby starts crying again, and the mum phones. She phones the mum, and that's the end. She phones the mum.
So I think the worst part was when she was left. Sorry.
When we turn this on was the worst part.
All right.
Mind you, the Thames intro. That's always.
That was good. I like that with the
Yeah.
everything erupting out of the Thames. Like, whoa. And then right, so the most annoying part for me, of the whole show, it was awful. It was just a combination of this bad direction, bad dialogue. It was horrible. Was when she was left on her own in the flat, and she picked the baby up and walked around the flat, explaining things to him, going, "Oh, this is your bedroom" and things. And I hated that. It was
This is
so
the window.
bad.
It's like dialogue for the sake of it.
Oh, it was
no
horrendous.
point.
Time filler, innit? It's like she's
Yeah.
alone with the baby. What are we going to do? Oh, have him all walk around.
Like, it was pointless. It did nothing.
And this
It
is the
did nothing.
kitchen
It
where I
literally
can
just
give
filled
you some-
time until Jeffrey came in. It did nothing.
Cordon bleu.
It didn't move anything on. It wasn't funny. It was just this dialogue for the sake. It's fucking rubbish. They might as well just cut off 5 minutes of the show and then had cuts of Jeffrey coming and doing it.
There was
Ugh.
one joke in it that they didn't even structure it as a joke. It was like the actress didn't even realise it was comedy. She was like, "Oh, and there's the TV where you can watch programs such as Andy Pandy, Noggin the Nog, and
The races,
horse racing."
yeah.
And like she just said it, like she did like the rule of three, and like
She did the rule of three, but
she just read it like there was no break. It was like it was just like no grammar in anything.
It's like she just thought the rule of the not she, obviously she's an actress, but like
Yeah.
the writers thought that the rule of three was just naming
Say
three
three
things,
things,
and it's
yeah.
automatically funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the third thing has to be funny. I'm afraid you can't just name three things.
like
Oh.
it wasn't great.
That was it. Her husband came, and it's a really abrupt and strange ending. What happened? Yeah, because then Jeffrey, everyone left her again, and the baby was crying, and she ran into the phone and phoned her mum, and was like, "Oh, what do I have to do again?" And then that was the end. It cut to the
Oh
credits.
no! Yeah, she goes. Oh, it won't stop crying.
Yeah.
That's it.
What did
It
you
won't stop
tell me
bawling.
what did you tell me I have
What
to
did you
do?
tell
Or
me to
something?
do? It doesn't stop bawling.
I was like, yeah, what a fucking out of a bang that. Yeah, and then it cut. And then the end credits was her walking down her like suburban street
Yeah.
with and then a small 70s child on like a BMX or something went past topless. A chopper.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Yeah.
With a little 70s haircut, wasn't it? It was proper 70s.
Yeah. So that was a really good. Oh, that's my fault. Really, I chose it. So sorry.
Yeah,
Well, no, to be fair,
fucking hell.
I've written the premise of this episode, so
Waste.
I don't think it was a joke of the week. There wasn't any. There was nothing funny happened in it.
No.
The only only thing we were actually laughing at was the reaction of the audience to what was happening, and that was funny because it's just
Yeah,
so
and
incongruous.
Just making stupid faces and just the weird.
it was more what we were noticing. That
Yeah,
wasn't
rather
working
than the
right,
actual
that we were
show.
laughing at. All right then. So
Does it stand the test of time?
after three, does it stand the test of time? 1, 2, 3. No. Oh, okay. No. It's good. I'll do it for all of us.
No, well, it's written for another decade, wasn't it? Really, like
It was written for another planet. It felt like it was.
It's like going back and saying, "Oh, these hieroglyphics are a good form of
But we've
entertainment."
watched stuff that is funny. We've watched
Fucking all side on.
Ah, sideways kingfisher, sideways man, hilarious.
Read.
Classic rule of three.
The read's the punchline. That's why.
Read ox, hilarious.
That's why a lot gets lost. The old ancient Egyptian culture, because the end of it's all crumbled off, so you can't really get the joke.
Should we go into the game?
Moses in a bassinet. Baby bassinet. Read.
Wait. What were we just saying?
Should we go to the game just to get on?
Does it stand test time?
No, but yeah. No, what stuff from the 70s that was funny?
Like what?
Some of us have them in the 70s. We were cracking up. Some of us have them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was not laughing at some others there.
Yes, you were.
Oh,
Not
why are
in
you
the way we're
laughing?
supposed to.
Some of us driving is funny, actually. Though I
It's
can't.
not.
It is. What do you mean it's not?
You said this before. I hated it.
I just hated it.
What?
though.
We'll put it out in the morning. We'll put it out in the morning. Let you laughing again, forget about that funny line.
It's just he goes.
Put it
It's
out in
just
the
everything
morning.
goes wrong for him.
Mr. What's the name of that hotel man again?
Oh,
Mannering?
No, Mr.
Grimshaw.
Mr.
Oh, I don't remember.
Dunno.
No one cares, do they?
It was good though.
It was good. I was cracking up.
That's it.
Right, game. Do the game, right?
Clapped out, run down, too old to say. 1 foot in the
Game.
Still enjoyable.
It's like we're forced to do it. It's part of like a hostage situation.
Oh, I feel like we've been forced to watch this,
sorry.
so again, appropriate. Right, the game this week, 1 foot in the game, is called Keeping Up with the Joneses. Which famous Joneses said these quotes? 5 questions for you both to answer.
What do you mean?
Most points to win. So I've got 5 questions this week.
You got a pen so you put some ticks?
I have, yeah. But I've got J and W written down. So I'm at the ready.
He's got a system this time.
Oh, he's
I'm
organised.
thinking
Watch
ahead.
out, he's organised.
So I will read out a question and you both get to answer the question. There's 5 of
When
them.
you say Jones, what? Just any Jones?
So
Or are you going to give us a choice?
I'll give you a choice.
That's
yeah,
right.
it's not like free range Joneses.
Free for all.
So I'll read out a quote and you have to tell me which of these 2 famous Joneses said it. All questions are aimed at both of you. Yeah.
Can we pick the same one?
You can pick the same one. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we get to no.
If it's a draw, it means I win. So tactical.
Fight to the death.
Right. First question.
Yeah.
I change my mind a lot. I usually don't agree with what I say very much. I'm an awful liar. Is that David Robert Jones, which is David Bowie, or is that Tom Jones?
Okay, Tom Jones.
No, okay, it's David Bowie.
It is David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, so
Textbook.
I'm going to put a little tick there next to the Jones. Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes? Is that Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or is it Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Ooh.
Raiders.
Yeah. Raiders.
Yeah, Indiana Raiders.
That is correct. Raiders of the Lost
Well,
Ark.
it's souls.
I like the absolute lack of any kind of tension in this game.
Yeah. It might get more difficult.
I'm gonna add the "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" music in the background. Dun 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 dun.
Yep.
That's the correct time to speak like Chris Tarrant. That's it. Oh, look at that. That's good. I forgot you could do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing I can do, apparently.
Yeah, he did quite a good Bungle or George or whatever it was.
Yeah, do that as well.
Do the quiz as one of them. Go on.
What, this next question as Zippy?
Whoever it is.
do it,
No,
Zippy.
George, isn't it?
No, I can do Zippy. I can't.
Okay,
do
go on.
George.
Zippy's better.
Although, friend Michael, he can do George. I told him like I was doing Zippy's voice, and he just busted out George's voice out of nowhere. Wasn't expecting it, so that was enjoyable. Anyway, I travel like a maniac. I travel like a maniac. I travel more than anyone I know. I love learning the languages. Is that Quincy Jones or January Jones?
Say it again.
I travel like a maniac. I travel more than anyone I know. I love learning the languages. Is that Quincy Jones or January
It's
Jones?
Quincy Jones.
Who's January Jones? I'll go for
She's
that.
the
January Jones.
She's Mad Men.
Yeah.
She's Donald Draper's wife in Mad Men,
Okay,
and
I'll
she's
go
in.
Let them.
She's in. Isn't she an X-Men or something like that?
I think she's in something like that. Yeah, was she Fantastic Four? Maybe, I don't know.
Don't know. She's not
Don't know.
really. She's not really.
I'll
an
go
actor.
for January Jones then.
She's not.
So sorry, who's going for what?
Quincy.
Quincy, and you said
January.
it's Quincy, unfortunately.
It's textbook.
It's 3-1.
Yeah, I'm well on my way to choosing another shit sitcom to watch.
Can't wait. I think Wood at best you can draw now, which means you're playing for me to win. Do it, my friend.
Oh,
Well, don't do it.
well, I might as well just give up. That's the attitude. Anyway, go on.
I'm a terrible cook. I'm not allowed to go in the kitchen anymore after I almost burnt down the apartment in New York. Is that Tommy Lee Jones or Catherine Zeta-Jones?
I'll go for Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
It's Catherine Zeta-Jones. He's only gone and bloody won it. Jones has won.
What?
Yeah,
You said
well-
I could draw.
Yeah, I've still got one more point than you.
Yeah, he needed to lose every other point.
Oh, we needed to lose it, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, what? So it's not. It wasn't for me to win. It was for Chris to lose.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, it was, you
The best
basically
he could have
needed
done
to
after
get
all.
it wrong.
It was rigged. Let's be honest.
Well, I
In short.
had an advantage because I know more about Jones things.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like I'm at a disadvantage when we go out in the woods
Yeah,
because
because I never land.
And yeah.
Yeah. That was,
we'll do the last one anyway, just for
1 foot in the game.
that reason. For me, real peace is lying on a riverbank in summer with a sprig of grass in my mouth. I have friends.
Sprig of grass.
Yeah,
That's the.
I know.
That's the right usage of the word sprig.
I
Blade
have
of grass.
friends who jet off to a luxury hotel. I think, how can you enjoy it such ghastly luxury? Is that Griff Rhys-Jones or Alid Jones?
Griff Rhys-Jones.
Valid.
It's Griff Rhys-Jones.
Oh fucking hell!
He said
What's the point?
ghastly. He said ghastly. It's obviously
Ghastly?
Griff Rhys-Jones.
Who's Alec Jones? He guy sings the Snowman.
Snowman, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's ghastly about that?
Why would anyone be asking Alan Jones what he thinks about anything?
Because he's on TV.
Ghastly, he does.
Is he?
Yeah, he does like he's done loads of
Ghastly.
adult stuff.
Oh.
New Red Shoe Diaries. That's what he's doing.
Snowman.
He's in softcore porn. He's porking in the air.
Sorry. All right, so he's done loads of stuff as an adult, not as
Porking in the air.
Yeah, the Dome Man. The kid wakes up in the morning. It's just like a hat and a scarf and a used condom.
a load of white mess as well.
He's on his knees, devastated. Oh, he busted and left. There we go. It's taken off at the end. We're talking about willies and stuff and busted and dome. That's a surefire way to get this back on track.
Anyway, I'm sure Alec Jones was like on the One Show and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? It's just telling me as if like he couldn't have ever conceivably have said that quote.
I used the clues in the language. He said ghastly, and I was like, well,
Right.
obviously someone posh. And Griff Rhys-Jones is very posh. He's called Rhys-Jones.
Well, what's Alec Jones then? Is he like
It's Welsh,
down the mines?
No, but he's not posh. He's just a singer.
Oh.
not posh, he's just the singer.
But you know what I mean? I thought that
really
sounded
don't.
like a quote that Griff Rhys-Jones. He said sprig for a start. He
Yeah.
said ghastly.
All right. No, I don't know, do I? Look.
And it sounded like something Griff Rhys-Jones would say.
Oh, I thought it was
That's why I said
something
Griff
that
Rhys-Jones
Alec
was
Jones
correct.
had said. to
Well,
be
you're wrong,
honest.
won't you?
You're a sore winner.
No, because it's disputing it. It's not giving me
I
my
wasn't
due.
disputing it. I wasn't disputing that he said it. I was disputing the fact that you said that it was something that Alec Jones could never have said.
Right, well,
I'm not saying he's never said that. I'm
No,
just saying it sounds like Griff
he was saying the
Rhys-Jones.
word ghastly. He couldn't have possibly said the word ghastly. What, he's not a Pokemon fan?
I don't know.
Fuck's
Oh,
sake.
What does
it's a
that mean?
Pokemon called Ghastly.
Is that okay? Sorry.
right, well, congratulations, Jones.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks, guys.
Gracious winner.
you get to pick the next episode. I
No.
really
Right,
think-
I'm gonna go for, because I don't think Chris will choose it. I'm going to go for Badil Syndrome. So I think there'll be a lot of good content in that because he's a fucking
Oh,
helmet.
He's a what?
let
Fucking
me-
helmet.
Let me double check
I
that.
quite like David Biddle.
He's not up there with Griff Rhys-Jones, but he's.
Well, he's a command of the English language, and
We can do that one.
Because you fucking can, I chose it.
No, we've got a new format for this game, so I look forward to
Oh.
that next week.
yeah.
Oh, this is an absolute fucking tripe.
Yep, that was another classic episode. All right then, well, thanks.
It's funny when we were talking about the snowman at the end. That's good.
Yeah, and,
Review the
that's a bit
episode.
of a dome.
I like the bit when we.
Joke of the week was
Chris talking about donuts.
It's the Dome Man. It's good.
Quick announcement on the social media front as a sign off here.
Right.
We've got a website.
Oi.
Isn't that good?
Hey.
That's right.
Angelfire.com / GeoCities.
It's greatbritishshitcom.com. So if you go on there, you'll be able to find all of our social media stuff. You find links to our merchandise. Say hello. Let us know some Shitcom episodes that you think we should watch.
Start a thread on the forum.
Yeah, do all that.
And we're doing a Fortnite streaming as well.
What?
Yeah, Fortnite streaming as well. Yeah, sure.
We should just Twitch stream us watching it. This is good.
Yeah, so you find us all on there and contact us with some things to watch and we'll send you out a badge and leave us a review on iTunes and you can win yourself some other merchandise.
It's probably gonna be a badge.
It's probably going to be a badge.
I mean, if you've already got a badge and I might send you something else, we'll see.
If you send us a picture of you holding the badge in today's newspaper, we might send you a tote bag or something. Yeah. Like a hostage.
A sausage?
Yeah, that's what I said, Mark. That famous phrase, like a sausage. Classic Madonna track.
Bitch's choice. They always demand that sausages are sent with that day's newspaper to make sure they're fresh.
Eaten for the very first time.
What?
Like a sausage. When you're...
Fill your pork meat next to mine. No, we'll close on that.
No wonder he's tired.
Let's sign off.
Pumping away in a little white mistral beat.
Right. Thanks for listening, and join us next week where we'll be watching Badil Syndrome.
Oh, why?
Thanks very much. I've been Mark. This is Chris and Chris.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
We'll see you next week.
Too much.
Bye.
Bye.